You are listening to Real Men Feel with Andy Grant. Real Men Feel encourages men to allow and express all of their emotions. Despite what you may have been taught, all emotions do serve you. Real Men Feel is committed to engaging in discussions that most men aren't having, but all men can benefit from. All links mentioned in each episode are in the show notes found on the blog at realmenfeel.org. Now, let's get to it. Hello and welcome to another edition of Real Men Feel. This is your host, Andy Grant. Thank you for joining us today. And, music can have a great effect on our mood and attitude. I think most people I certainly hope, people have a favorite song that can kind of always just pick you up. I know in my life, I often turn to music to let out my anger and aggression, but also sometimes to bring a tear to my eye. But music and sound and frequency can really have way more effect on us than we realize. And sound can heal us. Sound can even awaken our own masculinity. And that's the subject of today's show. And my guest is award-winning music producer and spiritual guide, Philipp Schardt. So welcome to the show, Philipp.
Thank you, Andy. Thank you for having me. Thank you.
I'm going to get right into what caught my eye. Like I've certainly known of you. I'd say we were fringe acquaintances, mostly due to social media. But you posted, I think it was last month, a post about that you had released or worked on a song all about authentic, sacred masculinity. And that really caught my attention. So can you kind of just start right there, what that was about?
Sure. Well, I have been working with a great artist. I think she's originally Norwegian, but we have been working in New York on a song together called "Come as the Sun." The artist is Sasha Ziem, and basically she's also a very empowered woman. Has been doing a lot of spiritual work, inner work, and we found that it's also about not only empower women, but it's also to empower men and put them more into balance, right? The balance between the mind and our emotions. And that song is basically completely about allowing the men to be both, right? The powerful guy, but also be very expressive with emotions. And that's what women in the end also want, right?
Cool. So have you always been into sort of that sort of music with a message and depth and healing, or do you ever just like pop music and fun?
Yeah, I mean, well, it's my first podcast. So I'm a little bit nervous, but we will handle that fine.
Just pretend you're on stage somewhere. Right?
Sure, bro. I'll pick up my bass and we'll do some things. Well, I've been doing music since I was a little boy, right? And it started with Bon Jovi and Metallica and really like rock, right? And it then came the new metal phase and the emo phase and all of that. And I still love that music because there's so much emotion in that, right? So much power. And at one point, I started spirituality, or like it. Honestly, I saw a video by one of my favorite bands, 30 Seconds to Mars. And there was like a pentagram in that song. It was even an upside down pentagram. And I was like, what the is that? And I was like, why are they doing that? And it's an amazing video. And I got more into that. And then I opened the door, right? So, but it all started with pop music before I got all into the healing with 444 hertz, 432 hertz. It was a gateway, definitely, music.
Cool. And have you been creating your own music from a young age as well, or?
Yeah. I mean, you know it from your way probably as well. Some things you just follow your what brings you joy, or sometimes what is needed to manifest your joy, right? So I was playing in my high school bands. There was no real good bass player, so I started playing bass. And then there was no really a good producer, so I started learning how to produce. I'm a little geeky and nerdy when it comes to computer, so I learned how to do that. And then we got our first. We won some prizes here in our little town in Germany, and it got bigger and bigger, and more bands came, and I was working in big studios, and bigger artists came, and it evolved naturally. But it was work. It was work.
So natural hard work.
Natural hard work. It should be a movie. Yeah. Good.
Cool. So, and when did kind of the scientific aspect of it and studying frequencies and when did that come into your work intentionally?
So the more I worked on myself, basically the inner work, like who am I? Like the big question, right? I was living in Berlin. I had it all, what I perceived all for that moment. I had gold and platinum records. I had a rooftop apartment over Berlin. I was working the biggest music studio, um, but I wasn't really like fulfilled or happy. Something was missing, right? And then I got deeply into spirituality and what this all about. And I did a lot of shamanic journeys, as do many people nowadays, and did angel meditations, extraterrestrial meditation. There's so many things out there, right, in the spiritual field. And honestly, I got lost in that spiritual field because it's so much. There was not really like a path to know what to do, right? Because we get overwhelmed by it because it's exciting. It's something new. We haven't been learning that at all in our school or how we've been conditioned, right? And but music was always the underlying foundation, because when I hear music, I mean, we can dissolve, we can become one with God, with that moment, the universe, if we surrender what we hear, or our ears more into the noises and sounds we hear. Because I always say that the ears are the gate to our soul, where the eyes bring us out into the world, away from our essence. The ears can bring us really more within, right? And here comes as well the feminine aspect in our consciousness, like to listen, to be more receptive, of to listen more, right? Because all the answers are around us. We are like just too full with stuff. Then yeah, we need to empty our minds more and listen.
So were you raised with any sense of spirituality or religion, or is this all something you found on your own?
Good question. I was an altar boy in the Roman Catholic Church, and I kind of like, I just did it, I guess, because my friends did it, and I did it when I had to do it, and it was good. We had amazing adventure time in the woods with my friends, but I never really understood it. It was like never the concept of God, what it is now. I mean, the totality of God is hard to grasp with the human mind, right? But to understand that everything is that substance, what we call God, and also to know more the essence of God, which is goodness, because God and the word good is so closely connected. Yeah, to see that in everything. I mean, this I definitely haven't learned through the church. Yeah? Who has that, honestly?
And so you're also a spiritual guide and meditation teacher. So when did that come into play for you?
So I think 4 years ago I moved to LA. I did not a lot of, but some meditations when I was living in Berlin with sound, because everything is frequency. Everything vibrates, right? Here this laptop vibrates at a very, very low frequency. Fire has a vibration because I'm looking at a candle right now. Everything has vibration. Music has vibration. So basically, when I was in Berlin, I was teaching some meditations with sound. And then through my journey, I won the green card. And I was like, interesting. And I believe always when something good or God comes into our life, we have to use that. So I used the opportunity to move to LA for 4 years. And there I really got more into frequencies and what they can do. And there I hosted weekly meditations in Hollywood, in beautiful mansions, in very renowned meditation studios. Had all kinds of also clients from Hollywood stars, NFL pros. It was really special to see also the shifts, what you can do with frequency to the mind of the people. And yeah, this was basically the journey in LA, that there everything got more sped up to go into frequency healing. Yeah.
And are these all meditations and frequencies that you're kind of playing with and designing yourself and just doing your own thing? Yeah.
You know, bro, I, in my first band, we were always jamming. For me, for us, what it was like the Red Hot Chili Peppers. It doesn't sound like Red Hot Chili Peppers. It was more like emo, Nirvana, epic Coldplay stuff. But we were jamming for 3 hours, and we then going back listening to what we just did because we had no idea. So here was already a key that basically when we let go, God takes over, or the universe, right, or however you want to call it. And that is what I did when I was in LA. I had a friend who was playing the crystal bowls, right? Crystal, it's the frequency of that crystal that vibrates, and also those very sine wave sounds that go very deep into your cellular level of your body. And I was, like I did with my alternative band, I was improvising with all the emotional chord shapes that I learned through my studying music. Over what he played. So he played a bowl in F sharp, and I was, oh, F sharp, I got a flute right here in F sharp. Let's improvise over that. And with the other arm, I did like a pad in F sharp, and and then reharmonize that. And of course, I have to say, when it was not that big event, like with the guy who plays gongs, bowls, I did meditations where I also use bowls and did the Max meditation system, which I guess you also host sometimes.
Yeah, I do, but our listeners might not know what you're talking about.
The Max meditation system is after having studied all meditation systems and things that I have out in the spiritual field, from transcendental meditation to Kriya meditation, I found that this Max meditation system, which comes from the mystery school tradition, from the modern mystery school, it's very, very, brings you very deep and in a very effortless way. And you can even do tremendous healing work on the inner plane. And it's a very complete system. And that's what I now also combine with my sound frequencies, because the sound will help you to relax your body even more. And then this profound system can come in and does its work. Right?
Cool. So talking about how powerful sound is and how it can be healing and relaxing, can it be used, intentionally or unintentionally to harm us? Can we listen to vibrations that really upset us and put us off balance, or is that different for everybody?
Good question. I mean, I would say, right now, intuitively, I would say, how much is our current music giving us benefits or well-being or empowering us? If I look to a lot of rap music now, it's very aggressive. It's very dark. It's like really, I don't know. It's not really empowering. And the world is good and bad, black and white. There are many things, but I find, I feel music can definitely harm, because when there's music and there's harmony going on, we're directly to a more emotional state, and all the messages that come through the music go on a deeper level and work with us, work in our system. So I would say it can definitely do. Yeah, put scripts in our system that are not really beneficial, I would say.
Okay, cool. So are you distorting your voice now to be helpful or harmful?
Right. I try to empower people, bro. I'm also a spiritual guide, right? And it's all about, with everything that I do, I always do my best to remember people, period, like of their godhood, of their potential, right? That there is more, because the mind is a limit. And we'll show later, and you will curate us when we do it. I will show you guys later how your brain sounds, and because we have been in so-called theta frequency, that's in a frequency where everything is like hypnosis. And I probably should we go into this, or should we go talk later?
Yeah, no, I'm glad to. Let's play.
Let's play. All right. Let's start at the beginning. So when you're let's talk about the brain and how the brain works. When your eyes are open, like right now, or you might be lying on a bed and just listen to our beautiful podcast and have your eyes closed, but have your eyes open for a moment. When your eyes are open, your brain sounds something like this. And please let me know when it's too loud, dear Andy. Hear it?
Yep, it's fine.
So this is the so-called beta sound frequency, and beta or a beta brainwave state. It's between 15 and 35 hertz, and this means something that is 15 to 35 cycles per second. And in this state, it's hard to relax. I mean, if you can relax on that, you must be like a Dalai Lama Tibet or like a monk. But for me, I always say it sounds like the Autobahn, the highway, or like a lawnmower. It's really not something to relax, right?
Right.
And but the thing is, all what I show you, everything has its part in this thing called life. Because what you right now here, it's good to exercise, to do weightlifting or go running, because it's this. You can feel it. This energy. You want to move something, right? I want to hit something. So this is again for exercising, etc. The thing is, our brain gets into that state naturally by all the stimuli of the world when we're a lot attached to that world. Right? There comes our partner and says something, we're directly jumping to that, and we're stressed all by the noises of our environment. And what we want to do to rewrite the scripts, we want to store our brainwave levels. We will do that right now. So we go back to beta. I invite you to close your eyes for a moment. We go to the so-called alpha brainwave state, which is around 13 to 8 hertz, which is around here. And here, maybe you close your eyes and take a breath for a moment. Just feel this. Breathing, sensing, feel your body with this frequency, 8 hertz. Maybe you have to yawn even a little because it does something already to the brain, relaxes. This alpha brainwave state is good for meditation, light meditation, or yoga, like moving meditations, Tai Chi. And that's already beneficial. But if you want to really meditate, we want to go even lower. We want to go to the so-called theta frequency. Some of you have heard of the theta frequency. It's between 3 and 7 hertz. We go there right now. Keep your eyes closed. Close again and take a breath. And allow yourself to relax even more into this frequency, this pulse. And here in this theta frequency, we can rewrite some scripts, because here, this is the state where we have been from our birth until the age of 7 years. Everything was hypnosis in that age. So if you say to yourself on the inner plane, on your inner dialogue, you can say, I am at peace. I am fulfilled. I am loved. And always breathing, sensing, becoming more one with that pulse. And you can repeat with, I am loved. I'm at peace. Very good. And then we go even lower. We come into the deep delta frequency, which is around here, 1 hertz. Delta is deep sleep, deep. Very good. And very slowly you can feel your body, take another breath and slowly come back to this room. If you have done the meditation. Very good. Let me know when you're back. Take a breath. Here are some birds for you.
That's very cool.
The birds. Very good.
I've experienced those frequencies more kind of hidden and buried in tracks, so they're not, you don't know that's what you're listening to or consciously hearing it and noticing it. But so that was really neat to do it that way. Like, I first began meditating with Holosync from Centerpoint, which are CDs that just it takes you down through these waves. So I loved it because it made my brain meditate. I didn't have to like do something. Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So that is neat to just give it up, and yeah, the frequency does kind of take you over.
Yeah. And I think it's I'm always about to ground spiritual woo-woo things to really understand it scientifically, because then we understand more for our own nature of the world around us, why we meditate. Because what about the theta frequency, to just put it, just say one more thing, we are in that theta frequency, like I said, between our birth and 7 years, and everything in that state is hypnosis. So when we experience things, good things or bad things, we believe that this is how the world is, and we want to go back to that deep theta brainwave state to rewrite those scripts, or even see that they are there, right? Because we are unaware of what's going on. And before this podcast, the line or the message came in. I mean, some people know it. The whole world is symbolism, right? Everything we see, everything we experience with our senses is a big symbol, right? The big symbol of God. Because in the end, it's what we make out of that symbol. So when we, as children between 0 and 7, see something, this is how the world is, this is how what we believe is true, or that is what God is. And it's really, really important to go back and unlock this potential, what was probably not of good or of our truth. And this meditation, max meditation, sound meditation, can help tremendously.
So was there a time, or are there cultures where the average person from that 0 to 7 is kind of filled up with powerful, fulfilling scripts of truth, or has society always kind of distorted that?
That's a good question. I think there were definitely thriving times of our society. Think of the thriving times of Egypt. I guess there was more balance. Right now, we are like in a fully masculine world. And I mean, think about the symbolism that happens when you, as a man, we can come back to our topic now, you're in a room and another man enters the room, yeah? Again, the whole world is symbolism. What do you think of that other man? How do you feel because that other man enters the room, right? And the big message behind everything, because is softening. And this is again comes back to integrating our feminine part, because we are so much the doers. We got to do something, right? And to soften and feel that stuck energy and the stuck emotion that come up by just another man entering the room, and it all goes back to the father, and you know.
So it's not only sound that has the frequency, other physical beings come in with a different frequency that we respond to. And
Amen. Yes, 100%. Oh, that's a good one. You inspire me. You know, the frequency spectrum of what our eyes can perceive is like 1 octave, right? I mean, 1 octave. I probably have a guitar here, but I mean, think of it. The thing that the eyes can see is like this like on a piano, and our ears can perceive the whole piano keyboard, right?
Okay,
it's like 10 octaves. So it's much more maybe interesting to tune into what's happening within when I take the example again, when another man enters the room, because we can learn so much about our connection to our sacred masculinity in the reflection of how we react to other men, right? So next time you get triggered or something, open your ears wide, go see more shapes see more shapes. How do you say? Don't see a man, just see like a blob moving, and just listen more. So the energy within can more move, you know, and don't, because the eyes bring us away from ourselves.
And so are there actually some sounds and frequencies that awaken a more masculine response and some a feminine response?
No, I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that. It's a good question. Never thought about it. I wouldn't say that, bro. I would say it's always when you hear music, when you hear frequency. I can play you. I could play you sounds or frequencies. It's more about you, how you react to that frequency. I can say that frequency definitely does something to the belt, right? As I can't show you, but maybe you Google cymatics, 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 because there you can see how sound shapes matter. Because there we can see that there are frequencies who have a more harmonious shape on water or water crystals than other sounds. But I wouldn't say that they're more, this sound is masculine, this is feminine. I would say there are sounds that are balancing you, bringing you more into a harmonious feminine and masculine balance. I would definitely say that, bro.
Okay. So the idea of frequency helping to bring out a sacred masculinity, it's not the sense of that this sound will make you 100% masculine. It's more bringing you into a natural balance of all the aspects of you.
Yeah. And it goes back to that the music harmonizes you and by the frequencies, yeah, by the sounds, that you have a good introspection or get a good positive reflection, that you start to think. Good people who did that, of course, were Michael Jackson with I Start With a Man in the Mirror. And I have to say, bro, he did not produce music in 444 hertz or 432 hertz, but the and honestly, I haven't checked out in what if that song might be tuned to that reference. No, I have to do that. But the message of that song, that is definitely in the super harmonious and harmonic frequency, like just by the message of it. Yeah, start with a man in the mirror or the woman in the mirror, right?
So is your ear so fine-tuned that you can listen and specify the frequency?
I sometimes know the note, but when it comes to frequencies, we talk about hertz, and this is so subtle. I mean, if this is a game show, we should try it. But I should try it. I have never tried it. Maybe.
Yeah, I just wonder how, like,
what I know is that John Lennon's Imagine is in 444 hertz or 528 hertz. More people know about the 528 hertz thing.
What is that thing? I don't know that.
Good. Happy to explain. Our Western world music is usually tuned to the note A, right? When you go to a band rehearsal, you always tune to the note A that is corresponding to the note to 440 hertz, huh? And that's fine. But in ancient or more older classical music, the reference pitch was always a little bit higher. For example, 443 hertz or also 444 hertz. And there is a very amazing scientist who discovered that the note C, that is corresponding to 444 hertz, 3/4, very angelic. 528 hertz, the note C corresponds, if you do put that frequency higher, do some octaves, it creates the color green, and it corresponds to very many sacred geometric shapes. So, and if you, for example, look into nature or in the woods, the color green does tremendous things to our well-being as a human, right? So if you listen to this music in 444 hertz or 444 hertz, then it's very beneficial to your cells. I have a colleague, her name is Dr. Teresa Bullard, which I created also an amazing binaural beat and meditation journey through 11 albums. In her show, Mystery Teachings, which you can see on Gaia TV, she also says that basically when the more our brain gets stimulated with different frequencies, and we are attuned, we humans right now, to 440 hertz, right? That's what our pop music is tuned to. When we listen to more music that is in 444 hertz or 432 hertz, it naturally, as these frequencies are much more harmonious in the sacred geometric pattern that is behind them, it naturally relaxes us more and opens up new gateways. And because the brain is our completely conditioned to 444 hertz.
So that's why the whole notion of playing classical music for newborns and all that, it's really embedded in the frequency and the natural reaction and the geometry, the math behind it all.
Yes. Yeah. Good. Yeah. Totally. Good point. There's another thing. What comes up? I hope we have enough time. In the ancient times, there was a guy called Pythagoras. You might have heard of him. And we know about the Pythagorean theorem in. I hope I said it right in math, right? But he was also like a founder of the Pythagorean mystery school, and he traveled to Egypt and all other places to learn and studied with the Greek people, and there is a so-called Pythagorean tuning, and I always show it in my classes when I do host sound meditations, and I hope it works. Let me try. Let me see if this works, and you let me know if you hear a sound. Yeah. Do you? Okay. Can you hear the sound?
Yes.
Good. Now, let me ask you, how many notes are you hearing? So
I think it's just one oscillating, right?
Yeah. Like one note that is like repeating, right?
Yeah.
Correct. So the interesting thing is, it's two notes, bro.
Oh.
And it's fascinating. It's basically, let me play you one note. One moment. So the first note is this one. I hope you can hear it.
Yeah.
Yeah? Can you hear it?
I can.
Good. And the second note is this one. First one again. And second one. And they are so harmonious. They sound as one. It's basically the 1 and the 5. Yeah. The funny thing is, this is basically the Pythagorean tuning. Because if you think of nature, nothing is there really like we are counting. We're counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This is how, like marching, right? This is how we count. But in nature, it's more like the golden spiral, the golden mean, or what's the word again? You can help me.
The ratio?
Spiral. Yeah, the ratio, but not solfeggio. We find that.
The Fibonacci
sequence?
Okay.
There we go. Yeah, of course. The Fibonacci sequence, where there is like 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13, 21, right?
Yeah.
Everything is more exponential. So the Pythagorean tuning is much more harmonious. And now let me show you, and let me know how many notes you're hearing right now. I mean, how many notes do you hear? Can you hear it?
I can hear it.
How many notes? What do you think?
I'm going to say 3.
Yeah, it's 2, and it's basically like it's the same notes, yeah, but it sounds not harmonious. It sounds like 3 notes, right? Like you say. But it's 2 notes. Let me play you the notes.
But I only said 3 because I know you're messing with me. So I would have both. Okay. I might have answered 1 if I was on the streets.
Yeah, but I mean, my whole point is that do you hear it sounds like more than 1 note?
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, yeah. It sounds like a lot more.
Good. So this is the first note, and this is the second note. First, second. All right, and this is our tuning. When you look at the piano, it's basically it's the 1 and the 5. Everything is like every step has the same intervals, right? On a piano. And in Pythagorean tuning is much more like the Fibonacci sequence. Everything is much more, every interval between a 1 and a 5 and 1 and a 3 is a different has always a different ratio, right? And now let me play the Pythagorean and our normal tuning together because I find it hilarious. And yeah, this is how far it's like, yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah, it just sounds like something's wrong. It's
Yeah.
disarming even. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think the world is right? The world is wrong right now.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, we all do our part in this big puzzle, or in this big thing we call life. We all have our puzzle pieces. And my aspect is definitely doing with music, contributing something good, and bringing people into a more harmonious state with frequency. So even tuning, to Pythagorean tuning, we can harmonize by, and we can create all kinds of, we can create rock with that, alternative rock, metal, we can do pop music, and of course, meditation music, etc.
Cool. And you're actively working as a producer of kind of more commercial music as well as the meditation and frequency.
Yeah, I'm right now working on my own new alternative band. Honestly, I'm right now. I have to start trying to taking singing lessons now, and I want to do my own band. I always had like a person in front, and that was fine. But I just like, why not, right? Let's do it myself, and this is what I'm right now working on. And as well, of course, I will create some more meditation music also in German, because people are requesting that. And I probably will do, of course, guided meditation in English. And yeah, I mean, it's all there, right? We can do it all if you want to.
Cool. And right now you're in Germany, so you're no longer living in LA. Are you kind of hopping all over country to country? And
right now I'm in Germany. I've been to LA for 4 years, and right now I'm doing a lot of work. I'm very close by to my family, which is amazing, which I haven't seen them in a while. And I learned a lot through them, because I did a lot of inner work and spiritual work with the Modern Mystery School in Los Angeles. And the more light we have, light meaning awareness about ourselves and the world around us, the more we can also bring light or awareness to other people. And I found it fascinating how I see my parents change and have more light just by when we interact and we speak our truth more. And I did a lot of healings. All the healings that I learned in LA, I did on them. It's amazing to see these tools, the life activation, full spirit activation work. They're getting initiated in April, which I'm like, what's happening? I'm like, yeah, and yeah, it's really amazing. So, and I'm still hopping between countries. I'm going to Estonia to do the Kabbalah Ascension journey, which I guess you have also done on the path, which is amazing. I'm doing it for the third time, and it's hugely, huge, amazing what you can accomplish in those 10 months. And London is on the list, so I'm hopping, brother. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. You mentioned a lot of asking the big questions and wanting to know yourself and find out who you are and really have experience of it. So I wonder, and we've mentioned the mystery school often, is there anything else, a book, a practice, a program that's helped you a lot that you want to share with people?
I mean, with all the spiritual work prior, that was always like very mental. You learn concepts, and you then go back into your life, and you have a high or a buzz for like 2 weeks if you're happy. If maybe then the buzz wears off and you need more of that spiritual drug. Yeah. And spiritual drug meaning like not more of that guru, more of that shamanic journey or whatever. But for me, what grounded all the seeking was the Empower Thyself initiation and training. That's a 2-day program that I had in London in 2016. And you get all the tools that you need, from meditation to get clarity and balance, for tools for clearing your energetic field, protection from energies that you just don't want. Because when people, I always say that example, when people, not everyone is like very aware. Some people are just like spilling their negativity because they're just like angry about something, and yet they talk, and then you hear it, right? And here comes the ear again. And by hearing and listening to it, you take it in, right? And then it's just good to have tools to clear that energy, because I have much more to do than to work on the energy and negativity of another person. And those tools, I would have needed these tools from the Empower Self Initiation when I started my journey. because it really got me off my path. At one point on my spiritual path, I was thinking that everything has to be mantra, everything has to be this or that, right? It's dogma. It's, again, spirituality becomes a religion, and people are not aware of it at one point. But everything, if it's used for good, empower other people and express your truth, and it can be, again, metal or alternative music or rock. It's totally fine. If it brings you joy, I always say, let joy be the lighthouse that you always follow. What brings you joy? Trust it, follow it. And that Empower the Self-Initiation basically got all those spiritual teachings that I had, and also cut away that what were not serving me or just completely bullshit, and anchored them into my a body, or they really made it physical experience, which it was the best thing in my life. Spiritually. Yeah.
Cool. And we started talking about this, bringing up that song about sacred masculinity and opening men up to be willing to feel more. So is it that, or is there anything else that you wish more men knew?
Definitely softening, not in a way to become a softy or anything, but not to be so reactive directly to the world. I find that we men, we always like to, I mean, it depends. I don't want to generalize, because there are also men who are very close, not so targetive. So in the end, it comes back to balance, and it also always comes back to sit with yourself. Maybe not go to Tinder, Facebook, any distractions in the outer. Maybe close your eyes for a moment and just observe your thoughts. Because many people are afraid also of losing their control over their life, right? But the funny thing is, I always say most of us don't have control of our lives, because when you would have control of your life, you also would have control of your mind. Because please think for 3 minutes now of nothing. And you probably already lost, because you thought of what is this guy talking about? I have to do the laundry, etc. Their true control starts, because all the blah blah in our mind is the conditioning that happened because we have never learned to use the mind properly. And there it starts. So I highly recommend reach out to me if you're in Germany, or to Andy if you're in, I think, Boston area, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. If you want to learn the art of inner mastery, because I believe many men who are watching, they already achieved tremendous things. May they be amazing musicians, have a good family life, etc. But there is always more that we can master. And if we master this, many people around us can also benefit from this. Again, start with the man in the mirror. And this is one key to have a better life, to be more balanced and thrive more in life, achieve more, cut through the limitations, meditate, and get initiated.
Cool. And it's really interesting that it's been 4 years it's been 4 years since my initiation as well. So nice. We're kind of in a similar timing, at least. It's funny. You've mentioned lots of cool things that you're up to, and about to step forward and be your own front man.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah. So I wonder, what are you most looking forward to right now?
Everything. Looking forward to be even more balanced, to be even more manifesting all that creative power that flows through us. Maybe a good topic that I should, sometimes we men, we're a lot think a lot about women. If we're into women, we think a lot about sex, right? And the thing is, sex is a creative force. It's creation energy. We can, of course, create a baby with that, a new life, a new universe, but we can also use that inner tension sometimes to create something good, and how to learn how to use this creative energy for good, and not just like spill it out or whatever, what happens with that, right? To use it. I found this is really an important part which we as men also have to learn, because we can then manifest more. Because sometimes, and I believe many men know that, you have so much energy inside. And it can be because the world triggers us, because bullshit happened. And then we're agitated. And then what do we do with it? And let's be honest, some people jerk off or do something with it, right? But if you manage that anger within, or just have sex, by just because you can't handle the energy, you need that release. But if you more, again, this is hard. You sit with that, and it's literally hard probably, but you sit more with that and meditate. And what can I do with that it's not going away somewhere? We can do a lot with that. We can do a lot with that.
Cool. Philipp, I really want to thank you. I have found this just really fascinating, and I love that you came and worked on the ability to demonstrate and play different sounds for us. What's the best place? Sure. Where can people go to find out more about you, to find out about the music you're creating, the meditation classes, everything you're up to?
Sure. There is definitely my webpage, www.philippschardt.com. I think it will be probably somewhere in the description. It's www.philippschardt.com. And if you want to meditate, I created this really ridiculously amazing meditation album. It's honestly 11 albums with Dr. Teresa Bullard. She's an international teacher with the Modern Mystery School. She teaches Kabbalah all over the world, Universal Hermetic Kabbalah. And there is the thing called the Kabbalah chants. And we used binaural beats and very sacred holy words to meditate you through the whole tree of life, and you will unlock more of your potential. Probably many things come up. I always say this story because I was I created this thing. I can drive to that, right? Because I was yeah, let's do it. Because we always say, don't drive to this because it does so much mind-altering things. So I was driving to it, and I was listening to the sphere Gevura, which is strength, and the color is red. And the funny thing was, I was listening to it, and suddenly in the outer, a red car appeared, then a woman in a red dress, and I was like, what is happening? And I really had to turn it down. Yeah. So this is really amazing, the Kabbalah chants. kabbalahchants.com, and I have a new German webpage which is called meinheiligtum.de, which is translated my sanctuary. And the word Heiligtum means we are all holy, and we all just forgot how holy we are in our essence, right? And and there you can all get all the one-on-one sessions, the life activation, the empower the self-initiation, hermetic soul retrieval, so many things. And just get in touch with me if you want to reclaim more of your essence and cut through the bullshit of the mind and the limitations, and just want to live more of your truth.
Awesome. Yeah. So at realmenfeel.org, in the blog post for the show, in the show notes, we'll have links to everything that's been mentioned, and we'll get all your social media contacts so people can track you and follow you and befriend you wherever you may be.
Yeah. Instagram, right? Befriend me, Philipp Schardt.
Awesome. Yeah. And I have heard I didn't realize you and Teresa had done 11 albums.
Every sphere, man. Wow. I mean, yeah, it's really, and I always encourage people to listen to it while you sleep, very low level. It can be on a speaker, it doesn't have to be headphones. And man, what comes up there, you let me know if you've tried it, and let me know how it was. Yeah.
Cool. Awesome. So thanks for all these, again, experiences. And to me, life is all about experiences. So I love that you've made this podcast experiential, and that you're continuing to grow your experiences and share experiences with other people and humanity, and really just to bring about more harmony.
Yes. Yeah. Amen. Yes.
Cool.
So be it. Thank you for having me, brother. It was really amazing, my first podcast, and it meant a lot to me. Thank you so much for having me.
All right. Well, do more.
Sure. Let's do it.
All right. Thanks again, Philipp. Thanks everyone for listening to us. Wherever you're discovering Real Men Feel, please enrich us. Give us some harmony back with a share, a like, a review. Let other people know that this is here. Let other people know that they can better themselves. They don't have to put up with the monkey mind, right?
Right.
And through it all, be good to yourselves. Thank you for listening to Real Men Feel. Contact us at realmenfeel@gmail.com. Learn more about Andy Grant at theandygrant.com. Please subscribe to this podcast and leave a review on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Spotify, TuneIn, or wherever you are discovering Real Men Feel.